So when we want to offer our open heart to those who are suffering in the world, Tonglen meditation is a really beautiful way of doing that. So it's a Buddhist technique, and it's very simple, not always so easy, but quite simple. Many of you have done this with me before. So we're gonna start our practice with a little bit of this toward ourselves, because as I've just been saying, we need to have moments to care for ourselves so that we are capable of being present for the world. And then at the end, we're going to do a full Tonglen meditation where where we really reach outward. So if you're unfamiliar with Tonglen, it's just a simple practice. It's not just, it is a beautiful practice of offering your heart to others. So the in-breath, when you are comfortable, we'll do it in a moment just for ourselves, but you start out with the in-breath coming, bringing in suffering. So kind of sensing, and you start with yourself and then you move outward to other people. And your breath in, you take in whatever it is that you know, whatever you can sense, whatever you can feel, that is the element of suffering within yourself. And then on the out breath, you offer a prayer or a wish or a blessing of, may I be well, may I be at peace, whatever the words are that comes. So we start with ourselves, just like, you put the oxygen mask on yourself first, and then we move outward, and we can move to people we know, we can move to people we don't know, we can move to a country, we can move to the world at large, the universe. So you can expand this practice as far and wide as you would like to. So let's get comfortable. Let's sit up straight and tall and take a moment to just check in with yourself. How's your body today? Have you been able to care for yourself lately, or has self-care been kind of on the back burner? Have you been busy? What's in your realm? And let's start this by just first coming into your breath. Notice, is the breath easy today? Not so easy? Smooth, choppy, high and shallow, or deep? What is the state of affairs? And if you are able to, slow the breath down just a bit so you can kind of pause the thinking mind just a little bit, slow things down, like you have a time warp where you can really drop into the present moment through the breath, and release the attachment to all the swirls that are going on in your head. Feel your body again. Are you comfortable? Is there something you can do to get more comfortable? You don't have to be sitting the way you are. You can stand or lie down or sit differently. And we'll just do this very beginning phase of a Tonglen, just to begin our practice, to sense that we are caring for ourselves in this practice, so ultimately we may care for others. So as you breathe in, open up your heart a little bit and just sense what is troubling you. There's many options, right? I mean, there's so much out there in the world to be troubled by, but specifically right in this moment, what is troubling you? It could be something very specific, something even just inside your own mind. It could be something very specific to your relationships or your life. It could be the weight of world problems on you. So just very specifically try to touch what is troubling you. What is the suffering that you're feeling at the moment? It could be physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual. Now let's cultivate something that perhaps you can use through your practice, a mantra of sorts, that you can offer yourself a blessing. So what words would be comforting to you? What do you need? So offer that to yourself on your out breaths. So let's just feel the rhythm of breathing, that wave of the breath, sensing, touching, being aware of what's the challenge, the suffering, the troubles. And then on the out breath, offer a healing balm of your blessing to yourself, an affirmation, a mantra, something that you've cultivated in your mind to offer the mind, body, spirit. Let's just sit with this for a few breaths. On your next inhale, breathe in all this goodness, this fresh new energy, prana. And as you breathe out, allow it to just be like a blanket or a waterfall that moves over you. Bathe yourself in new energy. Let's place our hands together and bow into our practice. All right, let's release the hands and come onto your back. And let's begin our physical practice. All right, so stretch your body out and remember always that your practice is for you. So you can diverge off the path and follow your own path at any moment in time. And let's stretch arms overhead and feel the deep coming home into your physical body. So as you feel the stretch sensation in your breath, just notice, what is it that you want? You want to hold your breath for a moment and squeeze, or do you want to just melt into the floor? You know, what's going to enliven your cells? And then bring the knees into the chest and let's rock a little bit. Soothe your back. You can rock just a teeniest bit, or you can rock more. You can even be still and just bring your knees in, whatever feels nice. Let's have some circles here. Hold your knees, circle on top of your sacrum like it's a little plate that you're, rolling onto the edges of. Go the other direction and, just become familiar. Do you always start the circling the same direction? So notice habits and patterns. All right, and let's open the knees away from each other, away from the midline, and then back in. Just get to know the inner groins, the hip joints a little bit differently. All right, and then right knee coming into the chest. Left leg long on the floor, move your feet around. We're just saying hello to parts of the body, kind of allowing things to come online, to brighten. How is your breath? Switch sides when you're ready. Left knee in, right leg long, and feel the feet move around, wiggle your toes, any kind of mobility that you've got. And then let's stretch all our limbs wide, reaching into space, wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a deep breath in, hold your breath, and squeeze your body, all your muscles you can find. And then let that breath out. Bring your knees into your chest. Take another breath in. Exhale, pick up your head. Squeeze all your breath out, and then squeeze your face, your feet, your belly, everything you can find. And then a more gentle starfish. Spread your limbs wide.
Open yourself up to space, get big, know yourself as spacious, and then release and come in. Know yourself as condensed. And then relax your head, relax your arms out to the sides, and cactus your arms for a moment. And just check in, how is the freedom of your chest today? And while you're in this cactus arms, take your feet wide apart so that you're on the edges of your mat, or maybe not quite to the edges, whatever's comfortable, and just windshield wiper your knees. We're going to start moving the arms with this. So as knees go right, stretch the left arm out, turn your head left. As your knees come left, stretch your right arm out and turn your head right. And just waking up the side bodies a little bit. Stay inside your breath. All right, starfish out your body one more time. Limbs are wide. Exhale, draw it in. And then come rolling over onto your side and come up onto all fours. And so as you get up off the ground, enjoy something. You're gonna have some gratitude for some part of you that feels really good today. Let's revel in the ease of moving our bodies. Hopefully some part of you feels at ease. Okay, so let's swirl through some cat-cows, moving your body freely with breath. Feel free to change directions and add other movement patterns into this. So you can rotate, you could go side to side, lateral movements, spiraling movements, whatever feels really nice to enliven, wake up the spine, get yourself online, kind of touch into all parts of you so that you know that every part of you is here and accounted for. And then stretch back towards child's pose. Feel the deep compression in the hips and knees. Open up the back. Stretch the arms wherever they can comfortably go. Relax your neck. Let's walk the hands over to one side of the mat so you feel a deeper stretch through your side body. Ground through your finger pads so you can open up from your wrist all the way through your arm, your side ribs, all the way to your pelvis. Relax your neck. Take advantage of all the space for breathing. And then come back to center and go the other way. Can you just marvel at how nice it is to be inside your body, to be present, to feel sensations, to not run away? So often when we get stressed and we have a lot on our plates, one of the first things that we let go of is presence. I'm not sure why that happens, but for many of us, we can get so caught up in the processes in our minds that we forget we have this beautiful body to ground us. Okay, come back to center, up onto all fours again. Find your breath. We're just going to flow here a little bit. So drop back towards child's pose. Exhale. Inhale up onto your shins. Gather up some good energy. Exhale, back to child's pose. Arms down at your sides. Inhale. Gather up the light. Exhale. Let's do that one more time. Push onto your shins. Lift up. Open your chest. Exhale. Arms down at your sides. Relax the spine. Settle your hips. Walk the hands forward again. Curl the toes under and lift up to dog pose. All right, so enjoy. So if you haven't done the dog pose yet today, let's take a little time here. Let's pedal our feet or move our hips around. Take your time. Do you like bouncing or swaying or rocking, or do you like total stillness? Melt into your skull. Let your brain be bathed in some blood. Let the brain rest on the skull bones. See if you can let the skin on your cheeks fall away from your bones. Melt a bit. Feel the reach of your spine. So root into your hands, four corners of the hands, and then lengthen through the shoulders up into the heart, reaching to the pelvis. Breathe well. You can have your knees bent as much as you need so your spine is free. Keep the neck as easy as possible. Let's walk our feet forward. Come into Uttanasana. Once again, bend your knees as much as your back needs for you to do. And inhale for a halfway lift. You can hold your legs or the floor or blocks. Straighten your legs now, thigh bones back, shin bones a little bit forward, so we're unlocking the knees. Spread the bones of the feet, ground through the four corners of your feet and rise up through your femur bones. Relax your neck. Then on your next exhale, melt again, Uttanasana. Relax your head, take your hands to the base of your skull and ever so slightly tug on the back of your head so that you're pulling the chin toward the chest, but a little bit of a tug down toward the earth as well. Feel the spine open. Knees are bent. And then drop your seat, lift your chest, and rise up. So as you come upward into space, notice, see what it feels like to have a big open chest. Pause here for a moment with your arms up or cactus or out, however you feel good. Relax the base of your skull and just invite. Bring some energy in. Remember your mantra. What are you bringing into yourself? What are you wishing for yourself? And then release your hands. Shake out your hands. Anything that's holding on there, just let that go. Then we're going to interlace your hands behind your back. Open the chest, hug the shoulder blades toward each other. Rock your head around a little bit so you know your neck is nice and loose. Lift the sternum, broaden the collarbones, and then pull the hands down a little bit toward the earth. Try not to compress the lumbar spine, so some core to support you. And then relax just a little bit. Bend your knees and lift your arms away from your spine. Relax your neck. Let it dangle and be free. Loosen your arms, let them go, and relax them down. Grab onto your elbows, the outer upper elbows, and just a little bit of gravitational tug on the arms. Neck is free. Breathing well. Inhale for a halfway lift. Let the spine grow a little longer and taller. Exhale and melt again. Okay. Let's step back to a lunge with our right foot forward, our left foot back. Now we get to wake up the front of the body a little bit. Let's place the back knee down on the ground or leave it up if you don't like knee down, your choice. And just open the chest. Feel the hip flexor of that back leg begin to open a little bit. Climb up onto your knee, open that hip flexor a little bit more, reach the arm in the air, and just a little bit of a side bend here. Stretch up with the arm, root down through your shin. All right, and then release the hand down onto the ground again. Back knee comes off the floor. Let's start to move. Straighten and bend the front knee. You can tuck the chin and lift the toes while you straighten that leg if you want. Your choice. Moving back and forth with breath so that you feel both the hamstrings of the front leg and the hip flexors of the back leg open a bit more. All right, ground yourself now, knee off the floor, yield into the earth, feel your place on the earth. You belong, ground in, and then rise up. Okay, take your hands anywhere that's serving you today. Maybe that means they're way up high. Maybe that means they're close to the heart. Just find what's going to give you a sense of presence. So one more time, breathing in, feeling that sense of, what is troubling you? And on the exhale, can you let go a little bit? Can you loosen yourself? Loosen the hold, let yourself free up a little bit more. Offer yourself the blessings. Practice blessings so that when we get to being that Tonglen at the end of our practice, we're comfortable offering, we're comfortable holding some suffering and offering some blessings. All right, let's release the hand down. Walk the back foot forward, Uttanasana again, fold deeply. Just notice the difference between your two sides. Halfway lift again. Exhale and melt. Left foot is forward, right foot comes back. Place your knee down onto the ground and just pause here for a moment. If you don't like your knee down, you can either pad underneath it or just lift it up off the ground. You choose. Find the midline a little bit so the inner thighs are magnetized toward the midline of your body. Breathing well. All right, ground your front foot. We're going to bring our hands up onto our knee. Try not to compress into the lumbar spine. So we're hugging front heel and back knee toward each other. We're hugging to midline. We're pressing into earth so that we have support. And reach that arm up and reach over to the side a little bit here. So Just be where you are. You don't have to go any further than your body's asking. Stay connected to your lumbar spine so you know what's happening. Breathe well. And then release that hand down onto the ground. Lift the back knee off the ground, coming into a lunge. Open up the hip flexors again. And then let's start to move. Balancing the equation here. Opening the hamstrings on the front leg. Opening the hip flexors on the back leg. Move with breath. Enjoy flow. Enjoy the steadiness of your breathing, the steadiness of your moving. Keep the mind focused on the sensations of the body. All right, so come into a lunge when you're ready. Ground yourself first. Feel the earth. And then as you're ready, climb up. Okay, so bend into that front knee. Protect the lumbar spine. Use your core, root to rise. Place your arms anywhere that's serving your breath, serving your sense of openness, of freedom, of inviting what you need in. Relax the base of the skull. Support, use your legs. They like to work. Press your front heel into the earth. Feel your glutes turn on. And relax. Bring your hands down, dog pose. Stretch that front foot back. Relax your skull. Soften here. Breathing well. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Hold yourself steady. Try not to get ahead of yourself. Be in this pose. Find your breath. Can you feel that straight, long plumb line from your crown to your heels? Come down to the floor, roll the shoulders a couple of times, feel that freedom. And then as you're ready, rise up, chest is open and broad, cobra pose. Exhale and melt back down. So how are you best in your back bends? Do you like your hands close, far? Stretch into the legs, a little core engagement, neck is long. Don't forget to come down. Okay, so we don't have to stay up there. We can stay inside our breath. Rise up on the inhale. And then lower yourself on the exhale. Find your breathing. Come up onto all fours for a moment. Swirl the spine around a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to bring our right here. I'll start with my left leg. So bring your right leg forward. Your knee is coming to where your hand is. And then come down toward the ground. So it's not pigeon pose. Our leg is kind of out to the side. And just feel the stretch. You can come into all fours, onto your forearms here, or you can come lower. Protect your lumbar spine so core is engaged, pubic bone moving to navel. Full breaths. And then relax and lower yourself down onto the ground, and we're going to twist open. Let your knee fall away from the earth, up toward the sky as much as you need. Breathe into the open chest. Feel your pecs stretch. Feel free to choose a pathway for your arm that's most comfortable. And then come back round. Again, left knee up high toward your armpits. Forearms on the ground or lower. You can be all the way on your belly if you want. Try not to lean so much into your right side. See if you can drop weight into your left hip joint. Stabilize with your core a bit. Keep your neck soft. How is your breath? And then we're going to roll over to the other side. So let your right arm be straight and roll over in that direction. Your left knee is leaving the floor a bit. Open up your left chest. Take your arm in whatever position feels supportive and freeing. All right, rolling back. Come up onto all fours. Move your spine around here. Find your breathing. Up to dog pose you go. Long spine. Root through your four corners of your hands. Root across the mounds of your toes and rise up from those places. Full inhales, full exhales. Melt the brain. Let the skin on your head and your face relax. Walk your feet forward, come into Uttanasana, and rise all the way up. Find your breath. And then pause in Tadasana. Gentle practice so far, right? So we're just getting to know ourselves, be present. Notice how you feel now versus before you started practicing. Are you more embodied? Do you feel a little lighter, a little more free, a little more present? Let your breath expand. Every breath in, we're bringing some new energy in. Every breath out, offer that mantra, that affirmation, the blessing, whatever you have. Is what you're troubled by, what is the suffering that you felt, is it beginning to shift at all? All right, let's take our legs wide on the mat. Okay, turn your toes out. We're just going to come down into a deep squat, but we're going to lean forward in this first. So you can have your torso parallel to the floor. You can hold on to your knees like I'm doing. You can put your elbows on the inner knees. Whatever feels good. We're just opening up our inner thighs here. The spine is long. Spread out the bones of your feet. All right. And then rise up. So a couple very slow. We're going slow. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Come down toward a goddess posture. And slowly rise up. One more time. Arms go anywhere you want. Try to focus your attention. Find a drishti, a gaze spot to look at. Up you go, legs straight. And then one more time, we're going to hold this one for a little bit longer. Place your hands in a comfortable place. And remember, you can be low, you can be high, you can be anywhere in between. Check in with your knees. Make sure your joints are in protected, happy places. Ground your feet. Root four corners. Find the crown of your head and lift it. Open up through the breath. Can you feel that you can be feeling a little uncomfortable, but grounded at the very same time? That you can have work going on, effort, but you can let yourself be supported. You can find some ease. So melt your shoulders. Feel the earth, four corners moving down. Okay, all right. Hand on one knee, reach the other arm up. And then come back, other side, other arm up. Okay, and then lift all the way. Turn your feet to the right. Take a deep breath in, Parsvottanasana. Elbow on your knee, open up through your chest. Maybe your hand is on a block. Wherever you choose to be is great. Okay, ground four corners of both feet. Find both feet. It's easy sometimes to lean all your weight into your right foot. Feel the left support you. Open up through the side bodies. Can you feel open? Can you feel stable? All right, keep the legs. Reverse the warrior. Open that side body up. And straighten your thigh triangle pose. Reach the hand down. Maybe you're using blocks. Maybe you have your hand resting on your leg somewhere, wherever you go. Shoulders are away from the ears. If you want to look up or down, choose a pathway for your neck that's comfortable. Four corners of both feet again. So find that left leg, root down. How's your right knee? Are you locked out into some hyperextension? Undo if that's the case. Can you feel the broadness across your heart? Okay, come back up. Reverse your triangle pose now. Just feeling some awakening in the sides of our body. And now come into warrior two. Okay, find the breath. Relax the shoulders. So just like in the goddess pose, we have this capacity to feel a wideness, broadness within us, groundedness, effort, but that it has some ease attached to it. So bring some part of your body into ease. Relax the skin on your skull. Soften the base of your skull. Release the shoulders. Feel ease across your fingers. Ground four corners of your feet. Oh, both feet. Don't forget that left leg. All right, and then we're gonna rise up. Turn your feet straight again. Arms coming to the sky. Exhale into a goddess. So turn your feet out to whatever place you want them to be. You can lean forward in this and go, pretty deep into a squatting action, or you can stay more upright. So choose your pathway. Round through your feet. Okay, and then rise up again, arms coming broad. Standing star, feel your breath. Okay, let's turn your foot to the left foot turning out. Find your breath, come into Parsvakonasana. So allow your elbow to be on your knee or your hand on the block. Try not to roll the shoulder forward. Take the shoulder blades down the back and open across your chest. Breathing well. How's that back leg? Can you feel the right foot as grounded as the left? Know the earth. Lean into it. Be supported by it. Feel the support. Relax the base of your skull. Breathing deeply. Enjoy. Find all the little hidden muscles in this pose. We're going to reverse the warrior. So keep the knee bent for a moment. Breathe. And straighten the leg and find your way into triangle pose on this side. So for some of us, we need to be pretty high in this posture. For some people, you can go a little lower, but be very mindful that you're not just locking out this knee. So have a little micro bend in there. Find the four corners of both feet. Allow the femur bone to lift up into the left hip joint. Open across your chest. Is your neck still at ease? Where is the best placement for your head? Do you like to turn up, face forward, or look down? Try to keep the shoulder blades broad, the collarbones broad and the shoulder blades down. Can you lengthen more through your crown and tail? How's that back leg? Is it as grounded as the front? Okay, come back up. Reach that arm to the sky. Take a breath. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Now your arms can be in the classic position, but maybe you want your hands down. Maybe you want some different arm positions. So just find your way of what's good for your body and mind today. Even out your stance. So even weight in your two legs. Feel free to turn the hips a little bit if you need to. Soft neck and shoulders. Relax the skin on your skull, across your face. Breathing. You feel all the hidden muscles in your hips working. Four corners of both feet dropping into the earth. All right, let's come back up. Standing star again. Find your breath. Last of the goddesses. Find your breathing. Feel free if you feel like you want to move, you can move. If you want to be very still, you can be still. Bring dynamic breath into the posture. And then rise up, turn your feet forward and lower yourself down into Pasrita. So if you want to, you can put a block under your head or support yourself in whatever way you want. Sometimes inversions that have support can be so nourishing for the nervous system. So if stress is getting the better of you, do practices that soothe your nervous system. Forward bends with the forehead supported is a good example. Deep breaths here, inhaling and exhaling. All right, heel toe your feet back. Okay, let's come up to stand, finding breath. All right, Tadasana Mountain pose. And rock up onto your toes. Just feel the wobbles of your ankles. Get used to a little balance. And then back down onto your heels. Put most of your weight into your heels and feel where your balance point lies. And then ground into four corners of your feet and enjoy. How's your body? Are you aligned well? You know, do you tend to lean into a hip or move into your low back? So try to be self-supporting, stack your joints. Go into our right foot. We're going to pick our left foot up and come into tree pose. Now remember, your tree pose can be low down here. Your tree pose can be here. It can be up higher. So be where you want to be today. Find the breath. A little steadiness in your balance practice. Open the chest. Full breaths in, full breaths out. Bring that knee into your chest and give it a good squeeze up. And then release that foot down onto the ground. Second side. So remember, your toes can be on the floor. Your foot can be right at your ankle, at your calf. You can put your foot up higher. So be where your body is comfortable being. Okay. Try not to lean into the one leg, like, leaning into the hip. Keep the hip in, the thigh bone moving back. Arms go to give you most space and breath. So that could be right at your heart. That could be up overhead. It can be out to the sides. Relax the base of the skull. If your balance comes offline, it's okay. Try not to get flustered. Just keep coming back to the breath. Soften the knee you're standing on. Ground yourself. Feel the earth. Relax your arms and place your knee up to your chest. Give it a good squeeze. Lift your crown and place that foot down onto the ground. Inhale, rise up, face the front of your mat if you're not there. Exhale and float forward. Relax your head. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back. Try to take the foot you never take back first. Take that one back first to dog pose. Finding breath here. Rooting hands, rising through pelvis. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Stabilizing through your core. Breath in, breath out. Knees down onto the ground, melt to the floor. Roll the shoulders a few times. Inhale, any back bend. I'm doing cobra, maybe you want a different one. And then exhale and melt again. Okay, this time, arms, limbs out. They can be out behind you or out in front of you. Your arms, but lift everything up. Feel engagement in the full back body. Breathe. And then melt and fold. Come up onto all fours and move the spine around. Wagging the tail, moving your head, and then stretch back towards child's pose. Feel the compression in your hip joints. Enjoy. And then come up onto your shins. Grab 2 blocks. We're bringing our right foot forward. We're on our left shin. Now, if you don't like to be on your shin, you can do this same pose standing, and you can put your foot, on a piece of furniture or however you want to be. Okay, so you do you. Find the breath. I'm going to put one block underneath the other block so that I can twist well. I'm twisting to the side. Shoulders come down. Feel the outside of that hip open up, stretch through the big toe and the inner heel. Try not to let your foot turn out. Inner spiral that thigh, drop the femur bone, drop the sit bone. Relax your shoulders. And then come back to center. You can switch sides. If you're standing, just put the other foot on the piece of furniture, on the back of the chair, a couch, or a piece of a table, or whatever you have. If you're on the ground, find your way into the second side. Okay, so your heel is on the ground, your toes are up in the air. I like to use 2 blocks. Maybe you're okay with 1 block, just do you. This hip, your left hip, is gonna wanna hike out perhaps, drop it in and down. Try to have the toes pointing up instead of letting the foot turn out. Twist to the left when you're ready. Drop the shoulders. You can keep your hand on your hip or you can reach it out. Relax the skin on your skull. Relax the base of your skull. Open into the heart. All right, relax. and come out of there. Onto all fours. Move through a cat-cow. Finding breath. All right, so go ahead and come onto your back. We're going to do a couple of bridge pose transitions here. So find your way onto your spine. Heels coming close in. Okay, a couple of moving bridges before we hold. Okay, so root into the four corners of your feet. Inhale to lift the pelvis up, arms come up overhead. And then exhale and lower your pelvis and your arms down. So you can go as high as you want for this bridge pose. So, you know, if your back is a little troublesome, maybe just lift your hips a little bit and not all the way up. Just see what feels good for your body. Arms down one more time. Hips up, arms up overhead. Relax your skull. Exhale and lower down. So hopefully we're a little warmed up for some bridges here. Let's go ahead and find our way and hold. So climb up onto the tops of your shoulders. Your arms can do a few different things. You can have your elbows moving into the earth with your fingertips pointing toward the sky. You can have the backs of the arms all the way to the fingers, backs of hands rooting into the earth. And you can also interclasp your fingers underneath you. Be careful if you're interclasping because it often turns our shoulders into an internal rotation, and we want to stay open across our chest. Lift the sternum. See if you can open the rib cage. Root into the four corners of your feet. Use all your muscles of your legs. So you're engaging your glutes, you're engaging your inner thighs, you're engaging your outer hips, you're engaging your quads, your hamstrings. Let all the work happen. Big, full, deep, complete inhales and exhales. All right, and then let's go ahead and lower yourself down. Relax your shoulders. We're going to windshield wiper knees left, turn head right, and then pick up and switch sides. So we're turning our knees in opposition of our head, a very gentle twisting just to release the neck, release the back. All right. Go ahead and roll over onto our side, and we're going to grab one or possibly two blocks. Just depends on your body. So we're not doing part bench. The block under our head is going to be there to support if we need it. If you'd like to hang your head back, you can. We're going to put this one block on the low height in between your shoulder blades. And then your other block can be at the same height underneath your head, or you can have your head hanging down, whichever onto the ground, whichever feels comfortable. Start with your knees bent. We're going to interlace our elbows with our hands. Lift your elbows up toward the ceiling and then stretch them over your head. And maybe they meet your forehead and stay there. Maybe they go over your head and are comfortable there. You do you. So find the pathway for your shoulders that's happy. This is not available for every person. So be in a comfortable place for your shoulders. Focus on the thoracic spine. Let things open. This is often a place where we collapse when we're burdened. So let's feel the freedom here. Open and flare the ribs a little bit. Ground your pelvis. Let your belly move toward the earth just a smidge. Feel the sense of openness across your thoracic spine. Breathe into that space. At any time, you can unwind the arms and just bring them out to the side. So when you're ready for that, you change your arm positions and just come to a T. Move yourself into breath. All right, and then lower our arms down at our sides now. If you had straightened your legs, go ahead and bend them again. I kept my knees bent the whole time. We're going to roll over onto your side and curl a little bit into a ball. Put your head on one of the blocks. Let yourself rest here for a moment. Deep breaths. and then out. Now reach behind you and grab that block and move it out of the way, okay? Readjust your body so that you're kind of at right angles. So your head is on a block, your palms are on top of each other with your arms straight out from your shoulders. Your knees are bent at a 90-degree angle, as are your hips. Take a deep breath in. We're gonna open up the book here. So lift one arm away, opening the chest into a twist. And then exhale and come back. Twice more. Inhale. Exhale while you're there. On the next breath in, go ahead and lift your arm back, touching hand to hand. One last time. Take a deep breath in. Exhale on the way. Stay here for a breath. And then as you're ready, move back. Okay, come back onto your back, move the block out from under your head for a moment, checking with your spine, knees to chest, rocking a little bit. And then we're gonna roll over onto our other side. So block underneath your head, everything's at right angles. Once you get situated, deep breath in, exhale on the way, open the chest. Have a breath while you're here. Relax your head on that block. Come back over, touch your hands. Twice more. Inhale, open up. Exhale to complete the openness. Relax your head. Legs are staying together. You don't have to be super firm, but try to keep the legs together. Don't let them slide. Let this stretch really be in your chest. Come back around. One more time. And it doesn't matter if you reach the floor, you can have your hand hanging to protect your back, go only where your spine says is good. And then relax and melt. Bring knees closer to chest, just curl a little bit. And then roll back onto your back, knees into your chest, rocking. All right, you get to choose. We're either gonna come into pigeon pose or reverse pigeon pose. Your pathway, doesn't matter. Okay, so find a hip stretch that feels comfortable for you. And if you have a different one in mind, that's great too. Just want you to open your hips a little bit after the standing poses. Relax. If you are doing pigeon pose, try to take a block to support underneath your head. If you're in reverse pigeon pose, let the back of your head rest on the ground. Now, I try to include this pose all the time in most of our practices. Many of us love this pose. Many of us are challenged by this pose, but all of us probably need some work to keep the hips free. Remember, we're not trying to overdo. We want to have a sense of stability across the sacrum. Just open up to the place where your body is comfortable, or maybe slightly uncomfortable, but you're not trying to tax the SI joint. We don't want to pry it open. We're just here to stretch the muscles. How's your breath? Is there some place you can melt? All right, let's swing that leg back around, switch sides. If you're on your back, just change your legs. Find the pathway that's right for you. Take any level of support that you need. Where are you able to melt? Is there some part of you that can relax a little bit more? Take any support that you need to be able to let things go. Square up the hips, wide sit bones, melt the skull, front or back, whatever it's supported by. All right. out of there. And find either child's pose or dog pose, whatever is going to help you just get a sense of symmetry, balance. You can even do a cat-cow. And then we're going to come to sit for our Tonglen meditation. Now, be comfortable. We're going to be here for about 5 minutes or so. So you want to make sure that you have the support that you like to have for a seated meditation. Okay, so I don't recommend being flat on the ground. Sitting flat on the ground is one of the hardest ways of sitting if we want to really focus on keeping our heart open and our spine in a good place. Okay, and once you get to where you're going to be, I'm still setting up here. I like having lots of support. Okay, so once you get to a place of comfort where your body's in a place where you can hang out for a bit, just come into the breath. See if you can sense that place where your mind and your body and your breath become one. The asana practice, the only thing it says in the sutra about asana is that it's Sthira Sukha Asana, that our poses should be cultivating a sense of stability and ease in the body. So do you feel this? Has your practice given you the capacity to sit comfortably? And if not, change what you're doing. All right, so we're going to start this Tonglen simply by feeding ourselves first. So on the in-breath, touch into the suffering that you feel. Open heart, open mind, open breath. On your exhales, offer yourself something. It could be very simple. May I be well? May I be happy? May I be free? May I be at ease? May I be at peace? It doesn't really matter what the words are. Cultivate the emotional state of the blessing. Your breath in, touching into the heart space, opening your heart to sense, hold, feel, let pass through the suffering. And on the out breath, offer your grace, your prayers, your love, your care, your compassion. Now, at any point, if you feel unable to keep the heart open for this kind of exchange, return back to caring for yourself. There's no expectations or judgments. It just is what the heart is available to be right here and now. So let's think of someone we love, someone very close to you. Could be a few people, like maybe your family or your children or your partner or your mother or whoever you feel to be very close with, that you want to open up your heart. Feel what you know to be a bit of their suffering. And even if you don't really know the heart of their suffering, just touch the heart space of compassion. Open your heart to receive what they are feeling that's difficult, painful. And on the out breath, offer a blessing. Any form of goodwill, it doesn't have to be words that you say in your mind. It can just be an exchange of the heart. Okay, moving on to a bigger sphere of the people you know. So perhaps you're circle of friends or your community, the people in your web, your daily web, your yearly web. See if you can just offer a collective capacity to receive collective suffering, to hold, to let it pass through you. And then offer out. May you be well, may you be free, may you be at peace. Whatever the words are, whatever the feeling is, offer. Let's move a little further out to the city or state that you live in, a place where you live. Reach out. Maybe there's some homeless people, people who are who are unhoused. Maybe there are people who are struggling. Of course, there are many people struggling all around. Just feel into this broader sense of people. Offer your goodwill. Offer your open heart to receive and to give. Hold on to your nation now. Whatever the challenges are of your nation, can you hold the challenge? Can you offer peace and unity? All right, now let's try to really muster up some concentration for this next one. Let's bring Ukraine into our awareness. The suffering, the fear, the challenges that the people of Ukraine are feeling. Offer out your prayers, your blessings. Hold a sense of peace. Broaden your capacities here. All right, let's take this energy to everywhere you can touch. The suffering of humanity and all the strange ways that our pain manifests. It manifests in leaders who are not serving a clear path of peace. It manifests in so many different ways. So feel suffering of the planet, the people on the planet, those in power, those with no power. Offer out your prayers.
move beyond our tiny planet. Feel the expanse of the unknown. Let your heart be open to both receive and give. And then place your hands over your heart bow, this tender place that is unstruck, the Anahata chakra, the purity of our spirits. Just allow a sense of warmth, sense of support to enter you. Move your way into the day. I know it's strange to skip Shavasana, so I want you to feel free to lay down after this, but we're going to end class here and then I'll have you lie down on your own and just absorb the energy and let the earth support you. Palms together. Send your love out. Namaste. Now, if you have the time, just mute your computer here or your phone and just lay down and rest. Receive your practice. Receive your connection to the world. And let yourself be grounded.